just lying down on your back, you have your knees bent up for a few moments, but then we will stretch the legs out this morning. But just lie with your feet up if you need to, just to settle the lower back, arms away from the body, shoulders rolling back. Lengthen through the back of the neck by tucking your chin in. So we're gonna really think about length through the spine throughout this morning. So that includes the 7 vertebrae that go up into the neck, which tend to get quite compressed. So just tucking the chin in, lengthening through that top part of the spine. And then just starting to feel the back of the body release down so that the weight of the spine is totally being supported by the floor. You're just letting your back fall into its natural curves. Closing the eyes if that's comfortable for you. Just allowing the body to release and relax towards the floor. Back of the hands heavy. So imagine I'm coming around behind you and just gently pressing the shoulders down towards the floor, releasing them towards the floor. And then when you're ready, stretching the legs out now along the mat, sort of hip width apart rather than to the corners of the mat. And what we're going to do is we're going to lift the arms up so that they come up towards the ceiling and all the way over behind you to come and rest on the mat if they'll go there. As you do that, flex the feet. And really draw long through the spine, so like you're lifting out of the lower back, long through the sides of the body. And then bring the arms back up into the air and back down either side of you and release the feet. You can point them if that feels good. So we'll do that a few more times with the breath. So as you inhale, draw the arms up, all the way to the floor, draw the toes towards you, and then exhale. Hands come down, feet relax. So as you inhale, really try and keep the breath in time with the movement in time with the breath. As you inhale, lengthen through the spine. And then this time as you exhale, consciously drawing the belly towards the navel. So every time you exhale, there's that gentle engagement through the belly. Inhale once more. Lengthen all the way through the spine, but especially through the waist. And then exhale. At the end of the exhalation, draw the belly in towards the spine. So you've got some activity in the lower. One more time, the lower belly. Inhale. Hopefully a light stretch through the shoulders as well. Exhale. Draw the belly in, hands come down to rest. Good. And then draw one knee in and then the other knee in. Hug the knees in towards the chest. So holding lightly on the shins, maybe give yourself a little rock from side to side, releasing out through the lower back. And then just lightly holding on to the top of the shins, take the knees away from the body. So that the shins are pressing into the hands. So you can really press the shins into the hands so you'll feel length through the arms, keep the shoulders down, relax onto the mat. And then draw the knees in towards the chest. As you draw the knees in towards the chest, don't round up through the back. Keep the pelvis as it was. So you've still got a light curve behind you in the lower back. And then press the knees away. So as you press the knees away, you're getting your lower back into the right position. Press the knees away and then squeeze the knees in, but without rounding the tailbone up. So your tailbone is still in contact with the mat. So you're just squeezing. You might feel this in the hip flexors. But just do that a couple more times. So it's quite a different squeeze in than we normally do. Keeping the tailbone heavy on the floor. So think heaviness through the tailbone. One more. Press the knees into the hands. And then squeeze the knees in. Keep your tailbone where it is. So just focusing on keeping length through the lower back at all times. Good. Now you can squeeze your knees all the way in. And let the tailbone round up. Another little rock from side to side. And then we'll just take the knees in circles now. So lightly holding the knees again, taking them in circles, knees together. So you're massaging through the lower back now. Inhaling for half a circle, exhaling, and then change directions. And back to center. And then we're going to make our way into all fours. So you can roll onto the side, push up, and then come on to all fours. So knees under hips, hands under shoulders as usual. And even here, you can draw the belly in a little bit, lower belly towards the spine. Maybe doming a little bit between the shoulder blades, pressing the hands into the mat. And again, make sure your chin's tucked in, so the back of the neck's long as well. So feel like your tailbone's being drawn back, crown of the head's being drawn forward. So we're going to inhale, draw the chest forward, arch the back. And then as we exhale, I want you to come into a cat. And as you come into the cat, bend the elbows towards you and sit the bottom down. So you're coming into a child's pose, but just the sort of the back end of the child's pose. Good. So inhale, come back onto all fours. Draw the chest forward into your cow. And then exhale, dome the back up, bend the elbows, and sit the bottom back onto the heels. So hopefully you can feel that creating mobility through the lower back. So it's a sort of modified cat-cow. So come back up. Inhale, cow. Exhale, round through the spine, tuck the chin in, bend the elbows as you draw the bottom back onto the heels. So 2 more like that. Inhale, all fours, chest forward, chin lifts a little if that's comfortable in your neck. Exhale, round the spine at the same time as you drop the hips towards the bottom. Good. And then come back up to all fours. So from here, stretch the right leg out behind you, toes on the floor, ball of the foot on the floor, just elongating through the calf, press the heel away. Take a nice breath in there. Still be aware that as you exhale, the belly can draw in towards the belly can draw in towards the spine. Good. And then bringing the weight into the hands and knees evenly. Stretch that right leg long and then lift it up towards 90 degrees. Doesn't have to be 90 degrees if it doesn't quite get there, but no higher. So you still want to feel that you've got that length between the crown of the head and the tailbone. Foot stretching out, leg really nice and active. And then stretch the left arm forward as well. So a diagonal stretch all the way through the spine, fingertips to toes. Inhale there. Exhale, elbow towards knee, round through the spine as well. So you're letting your head hang, look towards your knee. Inhale, just out to 90 degrees. So don't kick the leg up, extend it long. Exhale, round in, push through the right hand. Inhale, extend again. Exhale, round in. Really empty the lungs, draw the belly in. Inhale, reach out one more time, stay there. And then we're going to do our little windmill. So from there, you're going to draw the left arm out towards the left of you, and the right leg out. Flex the toes, coming out towards the right of you. Inhale, stretch out forward and back. Exhale, windmill, left arm to the left, right leg to the right. Flex the toes, keep the leg as high as you can as you come around to 90 degrees. One more. Inhale, stretch forward. Exhale, squeeze the buttocks. You should feel this in your bottom. Come out to the side. Inhale, stretch forward. Back down to all fours. Good. So we'll do that on the other side. So stretch the left toes out. Just give yourself time to a little stretch through the calf. Nice opening through the toes as well. Take a breath there. Inhaling deeply, exhaling at the end of the exhale. Feel the belly draw in. And then elongating that leg so it lifts off to about 90 degrees. So try and keep the hips parallel. So if you're like me, there's a tendency to open the hip out to the side. Keep both hip bones shining down towards the floor. Remember that length through the back of the neck. Legs active, bottom squeezing, and then lifting the right arm up to match it. Long stretch, as long as you can with the fingertips and the toes. And then when you're ready, inhale. exhale, really round up, squeeze up, head relaxes down, elbow to knee, inhale. Take your time to extend, long, 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 long. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more, inhale, reach up. Exhale, curl up. And then staying there when you extend out next time. Inhale here. Exhale, windmill, right arm right, left leg coming forward, leg straight, foot flexed. Inhale. Exhale, draw to the side. Use the bottom to keep the leg lifted. Inhale. One more time. Exhale. And then back to center. Hand down, foot down. Widen the knees a little bit and then come back into a full child's pose. Stretch the arms forward. Full head rest on the floor. Tailbone heavy towards the heels. Really reach the arms forward. Middle fingers pointing forward so you can feel the stretch through the shoulders. And that heaviness through the back, through the tailbone. Inhale, exhale. Good, come up onto all fours. And we're simply going to step the right foot forward now. And come into a low-ish lunge. So hips facing forward. Feeling that back hip sink down towards the mat. So you're stretching through the left hip flexor. And then we're just going to lift up, hands on the right knee to start with. And relax, sink down. So while you're in this pose, I want to get that feeling of pulling up through the front of the body. So pull up through the belly, tuck the tailbone under. So the more you pull up through the belly, tuck the tail under, the longer this bit of the body gets, the bigger your stretch will be through the front of the leg. So what we're trying to do in this pose is we're trying to keep the lower part of the back from not bending and just introduce a bit of an opening through the upper back. So we all tend to be too flexible in the lower back and not flexible enough in the upper back. So reach the arms up into the sky and then draw them down into a cactus pose. So you're in your cactus, so you can almost feel like you're tilting the collarbones up and finding space through the front of the chest, but you're still keeping that real control through the lower back. Good, so inhale, stretch the arms up. We'll do this a few times. Exhale, draw the arms down, shoulder blades coming down behind you, opening through the chest. Inhale, reach up. So feel like you're initiating the movement in your back. Draw the arms down, your upper back, chest open. Good, one more time. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, draw down, stay there. And then see if you can even draw your elbows a bit further back so you can really feel your shoulder blades squishing together behind you. Collarbones lifted, but front of the body supporting the lower back. Good. Hands by the side of the foot. Rock the weight back into that back knee now. Draw the front toes towards you so you're getting a bit of a stretch through the right hamstring. Soften through the right hip so that the hip's not sticking up and out to the side. Take a breath here. So you're filling it as long as possible through the back of the spine again. Not going for a totally flat back, but get that sensation that the crown of the head is drawing forward, tailbone tucked back. Good. And then rock forward, change legs. Step the left foot forward now. Come into your lunge. And then when you're ready, hands resting on the knees to start with when you get your pose sorted out. So drawing up through the front of the body, so the lower back supported. And then when you're ready, lifting the arms up and coming down into that cactus pose again. So openness across the front of the chest, a very mini back bend just at the top of the back, not coming into the lower back. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale, draw down strongly. Shoulder blades coming towards you, elbows back. Inhale. Exhale, draw down. Long, slow breath. Inhale. Exhale. Stay there. And then see, can you open the elbows a little bit wider? Don't let them creep up to your ears, so they're still away from the ears, but elbows wider, front of the chest open. And then hands on the side of the foot, rock the weight back. Little stretch into the hamstring. Send the bottom way, draw the crown of the head forwards. Lift the toes towards you if you can, as much as you can. But remember to draw that left hip back and down. So you can have a bend in the knee if this is too much with a straight knee. A little bend or a big bend. Good, rock the weight forward. And step back onto your knees again. Tuck the toes under. And we'll come back into downward facing dog. So bend the knees to start with. So you get that sensation of descending the chest towards the mat. And then pressing one heel into the floor and then the other. And then this morning we're just going to walk the feet in now. So take one step, another step, small steps all the way up towards your hands. Come to a forward fold. Hold on to your elbows if you like to do that. And just flop. Just let the whole spine release down, head relaxed. I'm going to take 3 sighing exhalations through the mouth. Inhaling deeply. Big sigh, let the weight of the world slide down the spine, half the crown of the head. One more inhale. Big exhale. Feel the crown of the head drawing down, lengthening through the spine. And then release the hands off, and then we're going to make our way up standing, uncurling vertebrae by vertebrae. So stack your spine from the base, middle of the back, upper back, shoulders and neck coming up last. Until you find yourself in mountain pose. Just check your feet are parallel, about hip width apart. And we're going to come into some flat back forward bends in a special way this morning. So if you just want to watch what I'm going to be doing, so you're going to bend the knees softly, so we're not putting any pressure on the lower back. And you're going to hold your hands on the back of your thighs, draw the belly in. So we're going to come down into a forward fold, neck long, come down into a forward fold, but keeping the back flat, the neck long. So you're only going to come down as far as you can go with hinging. So we don't want to round through the back. So you're going to keep the arm bones drawn back, come down as far as you can, and then come back up with a flat back. So you should feel that the paraspinal muscles either side of the spine are working. So putting your hands behind your legs, that just helps keep the chest open and the arm bones back. Bend the knees, so you're creating a tilting motion in the pelvis. So come down just as low as is okay for you without rounding the upper back in. And then don't use the hands to lift yourself up, use the back muscles to lift yourself up. Good, so we'll do that a few more times. Exhale as you go down. And then use the back muscles, inhale. Use the back muscles to lift you up. So you should still feel this in the hamstrings, but softening the knees so that you're not taking strain into the lower back. Exhale as you go down. Keep the arm bones back. Inhale, come up. So we're going to go down one more time and then stay there when we get there. Exhale, come into that flat back. So just check you haven't rocked the weight really back in the heels, so it's evenly through the front and the back of the feet. So if your lower back's not particularly strong, you can just take the hands to the hips here, or you can try how it feels reaching the hands out in front of you. Just, if that's okay for your back, then do that. Otherwise, hands on the hips is fine. And then from there, draw the arms back into a cactus pose again. So feel those shoulder blades coming together, back of the neck still long, and then send the arms forward, long through the back, and then draw them into cactus. 3 more like that. Inhale. Exhale, draw back cactus. Inhale, stretch forward. Exhale, draw back cactus. 1 more. Inhale. Exhale, cactus. Good. Hands to your hips, everybody. And then really relax down into soft forward fold now. So rounding through the spine again, hanging from your tips of your sitting bones, so that your spine's like a waterfall. Just rippling down towards the mat now. Good, and then back up standing with an uncurl, vertebrae by vertebrae. Back up standing. Well done, good. So start to move a bit more dynamically now. So coming back to standing pose, hands to the center of the body. Breathing in, breathing out. 2 nice deep breaths. Then inhale as you stretch up towards the ceiling. Exhale, fold forward. So the beginning of this fold forward is just like we were always doing before, flat back. Take it nice and slow and then carry on all the way down to forward fold. Inhale, back up again. Exactly the way you came. And hands to prayer. Okay, so we're going to come into chair pose next. So inhale, stretch up. Exhale, bend, sit down, back into the heels, sweep the arms up into chair pose. So you can take the hands on the hips if you like to start with, just to find the right control through the belly. So in this pose as well, you need to lift up through the front of the belly so that you're controlling the lower back. Some feel like you're tucking up and under through the front of the body to control strength in the back. And then you can lift the arms up. So sit back nice and deeply. Strength through the front of the body, relax the shoulders down, lift the chest. Good. Bring the hands to prayer. Left elbow to right knee. Twisting to the right. Still sitting back, using the elbow to encourage a gentle rotation through the spine. Fold forward into a forward fold to release. Press through the feet, lift through the hands. So reverse, you're coming up with a flat back still. All the way to the top. And hands back to prayer. Do that the other side. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, come into chair pose. Hands to the hips to start with. So really grounding yourself through your feet, sending the hips back, spine long, front of the body lifted. And then when you're ready, lift the arms up. Take a breath there. And then hands together down the front of your body, twisting the other way now. Elbow to knee. Nice rotation through the spine, awakening up, awakening the spine, getting the fluid moving. Also compressing the inner organs, getting them going too. Try not to rest too heavily with the elbow on the knee, because that's cheating. And then fold forward, forward fold. Inhale, stretch up. And hands back to prayer. Good. Going to come into chair pose one more time. Inhale, stretch the hands up. This time just sit down straight to chair pose. If you need to put your hands to your hips to readjust the core of your body first and then extend back up again. Sit down nice and low. So from here, we're just going to press through the feet to come up standing, nice and long, and then exhale, sit back down. So a dynamic chair pose. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale, sit back down. So you feel the spine's long, but it's in control. Inhale, stand up. Exhale, sit back down. One more time. Inhale. And exhale. Nice and deep this time. Inhale, stand up one more time. And bring the hands back to prayer. Oh, I hope that's warmed you up. Hands down either side. Just standing in mountain pose. Shoulders relaxed down. Just feel the energy you've created through the center of the spine now. The warmth. Feeling nice and tall and strong. Good. Bring the hands together and we'll come into another set. Inhale, stretching up. Exhale, folding forward, forward fold. Coming up to a flat back. So coming back, find that flat back pose. Hands resting lightly, crown of the head, neck long. And then as you come back down, stepping the right leg back. And we're coming into high lunge this time. So find your foundation through your feet. Press to the feet, coming into high lunge. So engage the buttock of the right buttock. So both legs are firing up. And just as we did before, try and tuck the tailbone under, lift through the front of the body before you reach the arms up. Good. So just as before, we're going to draw the arms down into that cactus, but this time we'll do our knee hover as well. So keep that control through the center of the body, hover the knee so it's above the floor, open the chest, inhale, press up, the front knee stays bent so it's the back thigh that's lifting, exhale, draw down. I think my breaths are a bit long, sorry, inhale, exhale, draw down, chest lifted, one more, stretch up, and draw down. And then when you get there, opening the elbows a bit further back. Good. Straighten the back leg, hands either side of the foot. Step back, downward facing dog. So you can still be soft in the knees in your downward facing dog if you need to. Inhaling, exhaling there. As you exhale, send the chest up in between the shoulders. And then inhale to plank. Nice long plank. Press the floor away with the hands actively. Lifting the weight out of the wrist, doming through between the shoulders. And then knees to the floor. Chest and chin to the floor. Inhale, cobra, little cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, exhale there. And then when you're ready, stepping the feet forward, one foot then the other, or hopping them forward together. Meet up and forward fold. Press with the feet, lift up, all the way up. That works to lift you up, and hands back to prayer. Inhale, exhale. So same again on the other side. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale, fold forward. So the sitting awake through the back. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, step the left leg back. High lunge. Press with the feet to lift up. Reset yourself, hands on the hips. So length through the sides of the body. Control from the belly through the lower back. And then stretching the arms up. Inhaling there. Exhaling, drawing the elbows down, shoulder blades coming together, knee hovering. Inhale, lift the back thigh to lift up. Exhale, draw down. Open the chest, tilting the collarbones up. Inhale. Exhale. One more, inhale. Exhale. Staying there. Tweaking the elbows a bit further back even, keeping control of the lower back. Stretch up, whew, hands either side of the foot. Step back, downward facing dog. Enjoy your downward facing dog. One breath here. Inhaling to plank. And take a breath there. Heels stretching forward, backwards, sorry, crown of the head stretching forward. And then knees, chest, chin, coming down to the mat. And then coming all the way down. Turn the head to one side, arms other side of the body, and just let go. Maybe sway the hips from side to side if that feels good. Okay, so to continue our work with the back, we're going to come in some variations of locust. So I want you to put your hands underneath your shoulders, either side of your chest. So we're going to do locust with the hands here, but you're not pressing through the hands, they're just there as light support. So what we're going to do is we're going to lift the chest up. So we're rolling the shoulders back, lifting the chest up. Hands are on the floor, but they're not pressing, they're just there to help. They're just there to keep the balance. And then we're going to stretch the right leg long and lift the right leg up. Just a little bit, so you can feel the back working, bottom working, back of the leg. And release down, rest the forehead on the mat for a moment. And then the other side. So you're drawing the chest up and elongating the left leg now. So the shoulders are rolling back. Back muscles working, bottom working. and release down. Let's do that again, one more each side, right leg and chest lifting and release down. Other leg, left leg, chest lifting, hands not doing the work, it's the back doing the work. And release down, turn your head the other way, lying back down onto the mat fully. Good. And then when you're ready, bring the hands back to where they were. Forehead on the mat. So if that was enough for you doing one leg at a time, you can repeat that. Otherwise, we're going to lift the chest up. Send both legs long this time. So we're coming into full cobra. Think about the legs being long rather than lifting too high. And if that's okay for you, we're just going to move towards opening the legs up a little bit. So open the legs wide, about mat width apart, and then squeeze them back together again. Internally rotate so that the knees are coming towards each other. Inhale, open the legs. Exhale, squeeze the legs together. Inhale, open. Exhale, squeeze the legs together. One more. Inhale, open. Exhale, squeeze. And then relax all the way down again. Turn the head the other side. Let go, relax, release. Just be aware of how that feels in the back. And then hands under the chest, come back into child's pose again. So great counter pose always for those back bends. So you can have your knees as wide as you need to for it to be comfortable for you. Your choice, you can either have the arms stretched out or you can have them alongside the shins. That helps you release through the spine. As you breathe in, feel the ribs expand behind you. As you exhale, feel the tailbone lengthen towards the heels and the forehead resting down onto the mat or towards the mat. Nice deep breath in and out. Good. So we're going to come back up standing, so just tuck the toes under. Come up onto your feet. And then rolling back up to standing again. Vertebrae by vertebrae. Take your time. Coming up to standing. Coming up to mountain pose. So we're going to finish with a couple of warriors because it's never really one of my classes without a warrior. So one more sequence to get us into warrior. So come to the front of your mat. Nice mountain pose again. Feel the length through the spine, feet grounded into the mat. Feel those strong muscles either side of the spine. Helping you stand tall. Bring the hands together. Inhale, stretch up to the ceiling. Exhale, fold forward. Be really aware of what you're doing in that flat back, long to the spine, all the way down to a forward fold. Inhale, come up flat back. Exhale, step the right leg back, ground the right heel, and bring yourself up into warrior. So just as we were doing before, make sure you've got that lift through the front of the body. Stretch the arms wide. You especially think about drawing the belly in as you exhale. Good, so we'll come into reverse warrior, inhale. And then as you exhale, go back the other way. Side angle pose, elbow on knee. So do that a couple more times, nice dynamic. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, side angle. One more, inhale. And exhale, side angle. Inhale, come back up to warrior. Turn the toes to face forward, heel toes them in a little bit. Hands on the hips, and we're going to come into a forward fold with the spine extended still, just as we've been doing. So tilt the tailbone, tilt the sitting bones up and away behind you. crown of the head reaching forward. Hands can be on the creases at the top of the thighs. That feels good. So soften the knees a little bit if the knees are feeling it under any pressure. So you can either stay there or you can reach the arms forward just for a moment. Length all the way through the back. Strong legs, belly drawn in. Okay, draw the hands back to the hips. Relax all the way down now. Soft forward fold. Take a couple of breaths here. So you're planting your feet firmly into the mat, just tilting the sitting bones up and away. And then just letting the spine relax, the head release. Feel gravity drawing the crown of the head towards the mat. Good. And then bending the knees, coming up, uncurling this time. And we'll come straight to warrior on the other side. So turn the right toes out. Left toes, you might have to widen your stance again because we came in a bit. Left foot across the mat. And then sinking down into warrior on the other side. So just be aware of that strong spine, belly drawn in to keep you stabilized as you do the next bit. So inhale, reverse warrior. And exhale, elbow to knee. Other arm comes across long line. Inhale, press through the feet. Your feet are your foundation. And then you're coming over to side angle. Muscles around your center are like your scaffolding. Inhale. And exhale, side angle last time. Come back up to warrior. And then straighten the knee gently, heel toe back in. We'll take that one more time. So hands to the hips, feet firmly planted, toes facing forward. Flat back once more. Reach forward, feel like you're reaching forward. Good. And same as the other side, you can either keep your hands on your hips or really lift the belly towards the spine to support you as you stretch your arms forward. Sitting bones stretching back. Arms stretching forward. If you feel this in the knees at all, bend the knees slightly. And then hands back to the hips. Forward, all the way. Deep breath in and out. So the more you feel like your feet are pressing into the floor and the legs are strong, the more you get relief then through the upper body. Crown of the head, neck long. And give your head the sort of shake from side to side. Sometimes helps to release out or nod even. One more breath here. You can just bring your heels in slightly so the toes are turning out to help you come up, uncurl. Back to standing. And then heel toe the feet all the way back in. So you're in mountain pose again. Let the breathing flow. Shoulders relax down away from the ears. Good. So we'll finish with a balance. We'll come into our T-shaped balance. So we're going to bring the weight into your right foot. We'll interlace the fingers behind us. Or if that's really awkward for your wrists, you can always hold on to the elbows. And then just step the left toes lightly onto the floor behind you, just to get your balance. And draw up through the buttock of the right leg, the outer thigh of the right leg. That's going to be your support. And then when you're ready, tilting forwards so that you're coming into a T shape. So your legs stretch back, crown of the head stretch forward, hands reaching back behind you. So if you can stay with it for a couple more breaths. And then bring that foot back to the floor. Release the hands off. Give your legs a little shake out if they need it. And then we'll do the same on the other side. So interlace the fingers, the next slot down, or hold on to your elbows. Or if either of those don't work, you can just stretch the arms back, that's fine. Weight into the right foot. So strong through the left foot, strong through the left buttock. And then just balancing on the tippy toes with the right leg. And then when you're ready, tipping forward, lifting the leg, stretching the leg away. So if you really activate that right leg and lengthen it, it really helps you keep your balance. Back of the neck long still. Beautiful, straight, strong spine. If you can stay there a couple more breaths. Keep breathing. Good, and then coming back. Stand, release off, give the legs a shake. Well done. And then we'll come down via a squat. So bring your feet a bit wider, toes turned out, sinking down, send the bottom backwards, knees tracking the toes, coming down into a squat. If your heels have to be slightly off the floor, it's really not the end of the world. So see if you can lift through the chest. So again, draw up through the front of the body to lift the chest up. Maybe your elbows can encourage the knees open a little bit more. Good, and then when you're ready, plopping down onto the mat. Great. So you'll be pleased to hear we're going to lie down now, and this is when you'll need your strap. We're going to finish with a bit of a hamstring stretch for the twist. So make your way all the way down onto the floor. This is an exercise we often do at the beginning of the class, so it'll feel quite different doing it at the end of the class. So you're going to keep your left foot bent up flat on the floor and lasso your right foot to start with. Extend the right leg up towards the ceiling. So I really want you to feel that if you feel that drawing in for the front of the body and the belly can help you to create a hinge at the top of that right leg. So it doesn't matter if it's not very close to you, you can have a little bit of bend in the knee, but try and think about using the belly to draw the thigh towards you. So you're thinking that your right back of your pelvis is connected with the floor as much as the left. So your choice here, if your right leg is reasonably straight, you can stretch your left leg out as well. If your right leg's still quite bent and this is already quite difficult, you can keep your left leg bent up. So it's totally your choice, what feels best for you. So your shoulders are relaxed, right hips relaxed, and we're just going to breathe into this for a few moments to see whether the leg might respond a little bit in time. So back of the body relaxed, but the front of the body is engaged, drawing that leg towards you. Good. And release the leg off when you're ready and change legs. So right foot planted flat on the floor, lasso your left, press the heel, press the foot towards the ceiling. And then before you try and do anything, engage the belly a little bit so you can feel that the belly is helping to draw the thighs of the left leg towards you. Relax the left hip down, and then if whatever you did on the other side, do this side in terms of your other leg, your right leg. And then breathe into it. So it doesn't matter about the bend in the knee as long as you're feeling a stretch through the back of the leg and that engagement in the back and the belly helping to control the leg in towards you. A couple more breaths here. Good. And then release that leg. Both feet flat on the floor, knees up. So we're going to try a sort of more dynamic version of that with the leg coming across the body now. So have both of your feet flat on the floor and then lift your bottom up and then just send your hips a bit to the right and then plonk them down again. So your hips are a bit off to the side. And then stretch the left leg out and extend the right leg up towards the ceiling. It'll feel a bit weird at the moment because your hips are out to the side. So stretch your arms either side of the body, and then that right leg's going to come across to the left. So you're bringing a twist in. It won't come down to the floor. It should be kind of hovering somewhere above the floor. So that leg should be extended, active. Your knee doesn't have to be jammed straight, but active. Okay, and then lift it up, back to the top. And then exhale over to the side again. So you should feel opening up through the lower back. Inhale, bring it up to the ceiling. Do one more like that. Exhale, over to the left of you. Inhale, bring it up to the ceiling. Exhale, over to the left one more time, and then stay there. So from here, see if you can rotate that leg inwards, so your toes are pointing more down to the floor, and then turn those toes back to normal, and then twist them down towards the floor. So as you twist them down to the floor, you should feel that coming all the way out the outer thigh and then into the lower back a little bit, and then turn the toes out, and then tip them back down to the floor, and then bring the leg all the way back up to the top again, and relax it down. Both feet flat on the floor. And then let's do the other side. So you're going to lift the bottom up, tip the hips a little bit to the left now. Stretch the right leg out. Lift the left leg up to the ceiling. And then on your next exhalation, coming down and across. So you're rolling onto the side of your right hip as you do this. Inhale, back up to the ceiling. Exhale, across the body. So you're keeping your foot as high as you can towards your hands. So 90 degrees as you can. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, twisting across. Creating space with the lower back. Inhale, lift up. Exhale across the body again, and then hold it there, however far it comes down. Try and keep the leg or thigh lifting towards the chest. And then see if you can roll the toes in. So it's not just the toes, so that should be the whole leg that's twisting inwards. So inner rotation of the inner thigh. And then toes open back to where they were. Toes in, it's very subtle. But hopefully you'll feel a benefit afterwards in the lower back. Turn the toes out, back to where they were. One more time. Roll the inner thigh in. And then open back to normal. Bring the leg all the way back up. Bend it in. Both feet flat on the floor now. And just rest there a moment on the mat. Good. So very last thing we're going to do is bridge pose. But we're going to do it with the arms coming up above the head like we did at that first exercise at the beginning of the class. So your feet are hip width apart, flat on the floor, parallel, toes facing forward. So what we're going to do is we're going to press the feet into the floor, lift the hips up into bridge, and at the same time you'll bring your arms up and over above the head. So in this bridge, you're squeezing the bottom, you're squeezing the thighs towards each other. Obviously, we're not lifting up to the chest as much as we normally do because the arms are behind us. And then as the hips come down, you're rolling the spine back down onto the floor, bring the arms back down either side of the body at the same time. So do that 3 more times in time with the breath. Inhale, lift the hips up, uncurl, spine off the floor, hands coming above the head. Keep tailbone tucked under, and then exhale, rolling the spine back down, hands come to rest at the same time as the hips. 2 more. Inhale, peel, tailbone off first. Squeeze the thighs together, squeeze the buttocks. And then all the way back down. Hands coordinating with the rest of your body. 1 more time. And exhale, rolling down. Feel each vertebrae release down onto the mat. Hands down onto the mat. And draw the knees in towards the chest. Give yourself a little hug. Rocking gently from side to side, or you can make those small circles with your knees that we did at the beginning. That feels good. Do it in both directions. And then we'll just take one simple twist before we come into final relaxation. So arms just out 90 degrees, knees still into the chest, both knees coming down to the right. And then letting go when you get there. Relaxing left shoulder down. Breathing deeply into the left side of the body. Coming back up to center. Inhale. Exhale over to the left. Breathing into the right side. And coming back to center. And making your way into Shavasana, corpse pose. Finding the most comfortable position for you. Releasing the length of the spine to the floor. Not trying to make any parts of it touch the mat that don't want to, so just allowing the spine to follow its natural curve. You have your feet nice and wide apart. That helps create space in the lower back. You can always have your knees bent up if that's still better for you. And softening and relaxing the whole body now. Letting go of any effort or anticipation. Letting the floor cradle you. Softening the mind. Feeling brain drop back in the skull, the eyes drop back in their sockets. The breath flowing freely into the lungs and out of the lungs. So being very aware of the weight of your body on the mat, and the sense of spaciousness and balanced energy you've created in your body. Filling the lungs with a nice deep breath. Gently starting to bring some movement back into the body. Take the time. Stretching how it feels good for you. Finding your way back to sitting only when you're ready, no rush. Come into a comfortable seated pose. Maybe have the unusual leg in front of the normal one. So just sitting for a moment, acknowledging how you feel. Grateful for this day. Grateful for our time together, if virtually. Bring your hands together. Namaste.